I'd like to show you how to figure median price in an area so you can determine whether the price of a property that you have listed is listed too high or too low. It's like comps, except comps you tend to get a lot more detail. You try to look for properties that are similar size square footage, same bedrooms, bathrooms, that sort of thing. But I find that median price seems to be a better guideline for a couple of reasons. One, median price is the price in the middle where if you had 10 properties sell, let's say 11 properties sold, there would be 5 that were above the median price and 5 that were below the median price. And property number 6 would be the one right in the middle. And what that does is it kind of, like if you look at this list of properties right here, which I stacked, you can click on this sales price, and it'll allow you to stack them from high to low. And in this case, there are 15 of them. So if you have 7 above and 7 below, number 8 would be the one in the middle. So the median price in this neighborhood is $595,000. That means if you're going to list a property in this neighborhood, the neighborhood has an appetite for about that amount of money. If you list above that, you're going to have a much harder time selling the property. Now you can go through and look at the numbers of bedrooms and baths and all that. But I have found that that's not necessarily the best guide, and you may differ and decide you want to do it that way. But I find median price to be a good way to determine if I'm low or high, or if somebody else is low and high with their listing price. If you want to buy the property, or if you're trying to list it to sell it for your client. So the way you get there is you go to Matrix, and you go to Search, and you go to General. This is for residential property. And then here, with the map search, you select 1/2 mile around. Once you select 1/2 mile, if you want to, you can go back and select 1/4 mile. It's a tighter circle, of course. That's a lot closer than a 1/2 mile. 1/2 mile seems to be, in my experience, seems to be a good amount of space for determining similar properties. If you know the neighborhood changes a lot after a 1/4 mile, then you may want to make it a 1/4 mile. Say, no, I don't want to wander off too far because the properties really change after that. But typically, I think you'll find that a 1/2 mile is good, and then you can either put in an address. We can't put that in, that's for sure. Oh, that was the loom thing. All right, hang on a minute. Let me go back and I'll get one of these. This one right here. Just as an example, you could use the MLS number. Sometimes the MLS number doesn't work and you have to copy an address or type an address in. But once you get the MLS number or an address, you go to Search again, General, go to the map search, 1/2 mile, and you just paste in that MLS number. Now, you want to look at what's sold. And here, this is 6 months, this 0 to 180 days, this is what's sold in the last 6 months. At this point, you need to think about the market. If you know the market has really changed in the last 90 days, which it has in this case, about 90 days ago, the market really changed. So we want to look at what's happened in the last 90 days. Before that, there were a lot of bidding wars going on. But now, not so much. So we want to look at that, and we see there's 24 properties. But we want to make sure we're talking about the same kind of property. So this is a single family, so it's residential. And then sometimes in residential, they'll include townhouses, and we don't want that. We don't want to compare townhouses, just regular single family homes. So you go down the bottom of the page, and you can go to this area here, additional fields, and you can pick up these. Condo, hold down the command key so you can choose more than one. Holding the command key down, I got I don't want townhouses, I don't want co-ops, I don't want condos 3 levels. Yeah, I can click on multifamily. I don't think it's necessary. And then you got to say not. We don't want any of those. So the ones that we highlighted, we don't want any of those. We just want houses, single family homes. So you go back up, now you see we have 15 matches. So then we search on those 15 matches. And this is the one I was showing you the list about earlier. You click on this to stack the prices from high to low. I do that a couple of times because I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't stack properly, and I have to click on it a couple of times to get it done. But in this case, there's 15. So 7 and 7 is 14. So number 8 is the one in the middle. This puts 7 above it, 7 that are cheaper and 7 that are more expensive. The one in the middle, $595. So this property, I can tell in this area, around 1 mile, 1/2 mile around the property that we're talking about, the subject property, the price is, the sold price in the last 90 days, the median price has been $595. So if I go back to that same listing, and I can just type in the MLS number again because I have it on my clipboard. If I go back here, this property is listed for $750, and we saw the median price in the area is $595. So this property is way overlisted for the median, compared to the median price, and that's what we're looking at here, the median price. So in this case, this happens to be one of our listings, and we need to talk to the seller and say, you know, you're way above median price, and it's probably going to be difficult to sell it. So I want to show you that. So that's one way. You can do comps if you like. You can look around the area, pick out the ones that have the same numbers of bedrooms and bathrooms and all that. But I find that this is quicker, and I like it because, like I said, it sort of gives the appetite of the neighborhood, what the neighborhood's people in the neighborhood are willing to spend. And I think it's just a good guideline. Where are you compared to median price? So that's how you do that. And we're going to end it. We're going to end this with that. So, and of course, if you have any questions, you can always call me.